Corporation was established to support the Economic Transformation Program. Because arising from the Economic Transformation Program, loads of new projects and investments required to take Malaysia up the value chain to fulfill our aspirations to become a developed nation. And clearly a key enabler to do so is talent. Because we need talent to work and drive the knowledge economy, and Talent Corporation is there to identify what are those interventions required to deliver on that talent required for the Economic Transformation Program.
Okay.
The sort of initiatives that Talent Corporation will be undertaking, some of it will be, shall we say, policy. So Talent Corporation will be working closely with industry, understanding the talent needs, and act as a bridge back to government in terms of what policies need to be revised and enhanced in order to make Malaysia more a destination for talent. In addition to that, Talent Corporation also will work closely with industry to identify what are those, shall we say, public-private partnership initiatives that can be done to help address the sort of talent gaps where they arise. One of the programs, for example, is looking at how to facilitate foreign talent to support our economic transformation. So a specific program is a residence pass. This is an instrument to allow top foreign talent to be able to work in the country for a longer term, up to 10 years. And so they are able to then come in, be able to look for work and change jobs so that they really then feel a longer term commitment to Malaysia. Another program is the Returning Expert Program, which previously was under the Ministry of Human Resources. That is being shifted to Talent Corporation, and we're currently in the midst of revising it, hoping to then enhance the incentives, and the announcement should come out very shortly. It's not to say that people should then not work at all overseas. I mean, labour mobility is actually almost, I would say, inevitable to some extent. I think the issue is that it's great even for Malaysians to get some experience overseas. But ideally, that with that wealth of experience and expertise, they will then come back to Malaysia so that we can also benefit from that experience. I myself, after graduating, I worked in London for about almost 4 to 5 years, and with that, then after that, I returned and worked in Malaysia. And I think to some extent, my ability to contribute was probably enhanced by having that exposure. We're moving away from this whole concept of companies having to deal with people moving away from the concept of lifetime employment. Right, where no longer do people just stay in one company for an entire lifetime. Similarly, at the country level, we cannot expect people to almost stay and work in the country for their entire lifetime. So we expect them sometimes to then seek new experiences overseas. But the hope is that they'll then get that experience and then come back and contribute.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. Prior to joining TalentCorp, and that started officially just on the 1st of January, prior to that I was already in government. I've been in government for the last 7 years, in policy development roles, both in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning Unit. And I guess the transition is quite smooth at one level because the policy underpinning Talent Corporation was developed in the Economic Planning Unit. In that sense, there is continuity for that. But at the same time, it's a big challenge for me because it's not an easy task, and it's also a very new role for me because I get to be interviewed by people like yourself, and I'm now in the front line and exposed to the public eye because this is an important mission and clearly it's answerable to all our stakeholders, and I have a big job to deliver on. What really made the difference and why I've been in government for the last 7 years and taking on a role like Talent Corporation is that I find it extremely fulfilling that I'm able to contribute in a way that actually has national impact, that helps Malaysia, and hopefully I'm part of that jigsaw. I'm one piece in that jigsaw that helps Malaysia progresses, and that is extremely fulfilling for me.
Okay, so
there's actually a lot to do. There's so many areas I think that can be improved. In fact, the challenge really now is to identify what are those quick wins. So I've identified, for example, looking at immigration, also looking at how to optimize in terms of the GPA scholar pool, looking how to then enhance the Returning Expert Program. So those are starting points. Going forward, there's lots of areas in terms of how do we then better promote, build up networks of Malaysian talents around the world. Gosh, there's just so much to do and just so little time.